How's everybody doing today? So I see once again, we've had it put into our face that white folks, we are the problem. We're the problem. We're the problem. Our refusal to honestly deal with our history of hatred, racism, genocide is a problem. Our inability to see where the unhealthiness of our culture is the problem. Our inability to see how racism and Christianity all tied up in together is a problem, is the problem. And the biggest problem is that we do not see we are the problem. God bless everyone. Have a beautiful afternoon.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy.
Hello brothers and sisters, I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you are watching me from now. Most of the white folks are now shocked by the black resilience, and most of them are now calling out the black community for guidance and unity during these hard economic times when the US is considered as a failed economy. Let's watch this video, then have a really quick discussion at the end of it. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna die on this hill that America is horrible because of white people. I'm gonna absolutely die on that hill. No tea, no shade. No, fuck that. All the tea, all the shade, disrespectfully. I truly don't understand how white people get up every day and look at themselves in the mirror. Because I genuinely think that there are good white people out here. However, you are the remnants of your ancestors, and that's just something that you're gonna have to deal with. Which is why y'all commit suicide in a majority according to the CDC site. You commit suicide in the majority because even though the system caters to you and you have everything, you can't live with yourself. You can't live with the remnants of your ancestors. You can't sit with that. So the minute you get a little pushback, it's a lot for you to take because you're not accustomed to being resilient like people of color. You're not accustomed to that. Which is why psychologically and mentally white people are weak. Don't shoot the messenger. The truth hurts. Oh yeah, and one last thing before I really truly land a plane. I got to say one more thing. And another thing. There's nothing truly that you white people can be proud of. Like, you can't be proud of nothing. You can't be proud of your existence. You can't be proud of your history because you really don't have a history that you can truly stand on. You have stole and unalived people and done the most heinous, egregious shit to people just so you can survive to this day. You have nothing you can be proud of. And that alone, if I lived in that agony every day, that would make me commit suicide. A lot of times I have to turn my hate for you guys until extending grace. Because the bottom line is you being hateful is all you know. That's all you know. And it's nothing that we can do with you all if you have been operating out of hate your entire lives. Like, that's who y'all are. And that's what black folks are not understanding. This is why y'all black people need to stop coming up here going back and forth with them. It is embedded in their DNA. They're committed to not understanding our struggle. They're committed to not understanding that what their ancestors did is the direct result of why they are the way that they are to this day. They're committed to not understanding that. And once y'all black folks understand and overstand that shit, then a lot of things will start making sense. Y'all got it, bro?
All right, I'm drunk. Let's go. So if you're feeling broke, you're not alone. Dude, I don't open up about what I do very often on here, but I've been in mortgages for the last 12 years. So if you want to lump that in with finance, that's fucking fine. There's a little bit of a tech angle on there. It doesn't matter. But here's the deal. Up until the last handful of years, I have been deep into the six figures. I have a corner office overlooking a lake. things have been pretty good for me for a long time. They're not good for me anymore. To the point where I'm trying to survive like the rest of y'all. Now look, I know what you're going to say. Oh, we've been like this the whole time. Look, the point to this video is people like me have been catching up to you over the last couple of years. And now people above me are starting to catch up to you. Don't waste your time fucking arguing over who's been struggling longer. Everyone's starting to realize how fucked, how cooked everything is now. And we need to embrace each other and join together. And when I say struggling, I mean, dude, I left my corner office on 5 o'clock on Friday, and I have been driving Uber, Lyft, and Uber Eats nonstop since then, just to keep the fucking ship afloat. Because to own the home that you owned when things were good, to feed your kid no matter whether things are good or bad, all of those things, you have to do what you have to do. And it means swallowing your pride and driving fucking Uber and DoorDash and whatever the fuck else is coming on. I just got signed up with the fuck Walmart Spark. I don't know. I did one. I didn't really like it. I may not do it again. But I might start making more videos about kind of the dichotomy there. Like, I work in a world where you're supposed to be successful and you're on your grind set and all that shit, but nobody's fucking making money. Everybody's fucking faking it. Because what a lot of people don't realize is no matter where you fit in the kind of finance world, the real estate world, the mortgage world, they're all super related, but it's all either mostly or 100% commission. If you ain't fucking closing deals, you ain't eating. So all of us are coming up with these weird side hustles. This is one of them. The whole reason I started this TikTok is like, I'm desperate enough to where I see these young kids making money. So my old ass is going to jump on here and see what it is. And I've made a little, but don't let these fuckers fool you. Any of these cats that get on here and talk about how fucking great they're doing just off of TikTok, they're full of shit. Like, I'm talking, sometimes I get a few million views in a month. I'll get like, I don't know, $400 or something, which is great. My only goal with this app is to make the phone that I'm talking to you on pay for itself. And I'm averaging making that happen. So that's good. My only goal with Uber and Lyft is to make my car pay for itself. My car makes its car payment. That's great. My only goal with the mortgage job is to make other people's houses pay for my house. Luckily, with the way shit's going, I only have to close a deal every so often to squeeze that in. But like, I don't know how else to tell you. I get it. You're going to be like, oh, tiny violin, cry me a river, all that shit. But my life has changed dramatically. And I'm just opening up and sharing that with you, that I, for a long time, didn't worry about money. Now, every fucking day, I lose sleep over it most nights. I am constantly thinking about fucking money. And it's maddening. And it deteriorates people's mental health. And I've started to understand people that I didn't understand leading up to this time in my life. Once again, I get it. Fucking cool it in the comments, okay? I'm just catching up. Give me a minute. It's crazy. The mental health effects of not having access to food and like making decisions on which bill is going to be late and things like that. It crushes you. It crushes you. And it makes me fucking sick when I get on here and see people with the, oh, nobody wants to work anymore. Yeah, nobody wants to work for you for shit wages. Look, man, if you're not willing to pay people enough to where they don't have to worry about money, then you're a shit boss, you're a shit company, and you don't deserve to exist as a company. You don't. Look, even if people aren't doing a good job that you have hired, it's because they're fucking worried about money. They're falling apart on the inside because they're stuck wherever the fuck you've put them for however much an hour or however much a year, or whatever the fuck you pay them. if it's not enough for them to just like be chill in their life, then it's not enough. You're gonna have to up the pay, or you're just gonna have to either lose the people or keep the people and let your business suffer. That's what I don't understand. Is nobody considering that? Your business is suffering because the people that work for you are suffering. Where's the breakdown here? It's just, dude, it makes me crazy. Every fucking year, just sit down. You don't even have to like do the math yourself. Just go Google cost of housing, cost of this, cost of that, and come up with a very basic, like I'm talking survival level amount of life, housing, food, school, daycare, whatever. Maybe add 5 to 10% on top of that and just be like, okay, here's the base salary my company offers, and you can earn your way above that. But if you crunched those numbers, I have a feeling so many people, if you're a boss of any kind, went and just Googled those random numbers, added them together, and expanded it out to a year, that number is probably going to be higher than what you pay most of the people that work for you. And that's a fucking problem. It's a fucking problem. I don't have the solution right now. Like I said, not exactly so apparent right now. So let's revisit this. Drop in the comments what else you want me to talk about. I can go on a rant about most anything. So give me your ideas. I will just start plugging away at them.
What's up, America? Looks like the working class here in the United States is finally starting to break. So I've been warning people that the working class can no longer take it for about 5 or 6 years. I think we finally reached that point. Confidence is starting to slip, and approximately 90% of people that have been polled say they have no expectations to grow financially at any point in their life now. These are people that are working class adults. They have such low confidence in economic gain that they're simply just checking out. Going to work, barely doing what they have to do, not making gains to improve either. Doing the same daily grind without trying harder to make any improvements in their lives financially. Just kind of stagnating, kind of accepting where they're at in their position and not wanting to move forward because it's too much effort. That's the consensus among people under 40 working now. That 40 hours a week doesn't pay the bills, the money's not worth enough, the wages aren't high enough, the benefits don't cover it because they're dwindling, and prices are rising so high people are basically just checking out, saying, what's the point of working harder? I'm already working at maximum capacity, and if I work harder, my entire life will be work and sleep only. Maybe a few minutes here or there for a meal, and that's it. So frankly speaking, the youth of America is starting to just say, no, fuck this shit, I'm done. And frankly speaking, I don't blame them at all. Unstoppable price gouging has been going for now 5 full years unchecked. Shrinkflation is still rearing its ugly head. You're getting less and less for more and more money. Anybody with a brain can see what's happening. You're getting less product for more money. You're getting less house for more money, less car for more money, paying insurance companies that won't even cover you. Utility costs creeping up to nearly double for the same shit you had a couple of years ago. I understand the rich want their money, but it's unsustainable. You have too goddamn much money. You have to reinvest in the United States. You can't keep taking from everybody. We're all tapped out. You have enough, you rich fucks! The burden on the American people is now too much to survive. It's simply too much. You cannot ask any more out of these people. They are tapped out. We're at 100% capacity. Doing any more as far as profiteering will degrade the country irrevocably. But you're gonna fucking try, aren't you? People don't have anything and they're working so hard for it. You have to give people a goddamn break here in America once in a while. People have to have disposable income to buy shit, go on vacation, something. Not just working to drum profit for a rich person. We're fucking done!
I don't think a lot of people understand what's about to happen to the American economy because people are still operating as if the money is coming. Ain't shit coming, y'all. Ain't shit coming. And people you always want to use the excuse of, well, the people I know not broke. They got it. Let me tell y'all something. The first group of people that cut out all that the unnecessary spending are rich people. So if you're still spending, I'm gonna like spending like crazy and not like all stuff that you like need or to live or whatever. I'm gonna assume that you're broke. Yeah, because you don't understand economics. You don't get it. You don't get it. I'm just gonna assume that you're broke because I don't understand. I really don't understand. People that are well off have already like started limiting their spending, being mindful of their vacations, you know, their shopping, like literally everything. They have started to wean themselves in. I started doing that since last November. But since everybody got it out here, but the numbers ain't saying that everybody out here making six figures, right? So y'all lying, y'all be lying, and y'all really ain't got it. But anyways, if you got some sense, please save your money. Please start being mindful of what you're spending your money on. You know, I'm not saying not to do stuff for yourself. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just be mindful. Instead of taking 5 trips this year, maybe take 2 or none, right? Instead of getting your hair done every month, maybe stretch it out to 2 or 3. Like, these are things. Start buying groceries in bulk so you can, you know, have stuff stretch out a little longer because the prices are going up and we haven't even really felt the real impacts of this inflation shit yet. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. To operate in delusion, I fucking wish.
I have 3 jobs and I'm still struggling. I am a teacher. I tutor after school. I just got through with one of my tutoring sessions actually, and I also make content. I have 1 full-time job with full benefits and then 2 part-time / contract jobs, and I am still struggling. The solution is not to get a 4th job. There's something wrong with this world. Something has got to give to where we live in a world where people can work multiple jobs and they're still struggling. What does that say? Like, the solution isn't you need another job or you're just lazy and you don't want to work. We're working multiple jobs. What more do we have to do in order to live comfortably in this world? I think it's ridiculous.
Good morning, TikTok fams. I know I haven't been on here much this week, and, you know, life's just been lifing. I hate the B word, busy. But, you know, some weeks are just crazier than others, and this one's been a little crazy. But I know, you know, TikTok's at risk again tomorrow. Which I don't know. I don't believe it's going anywhere. Not that I'm like an optimist, but just, you know, it's, if anything, it'll be another opportunity for somebody to say, I say TikTok. Look at me. Ha! But anyway, before this might possibly go down, I have a post I wanted to do that I've been meaning to do and just haven't gotten around to. But, you know, in my eternal quest to drag white people, and especially white women, and yes, I know I'm a white woman, I just wanted to talk about this real quick. So, white people are the most miserable fucking people on the face of this fucking earth. And also the most fucking judgy. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? And I know I am one of y'all, but I'm not going to say us because this is a part I am not part of. I'm not a miserable motherfucker. I mean, white women especially. I mean, like, so many women on that pew pew post I did about MAGA Man, they're like, why do you need a pew pew? What's wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. And the other thing is, like, you know, these women who on the post where I cuss, like, why do you have to cuss so much? Why are you cussing? And then when I chew my gum, like, why are you chewing gum? That's so disgusting. Spit that gum out. I mean, it's just bitching about some shit all the fucking time. As I learned very early on here from a black woman who said this, and I've repeated it since, if it don't apply, scroll on by. If you don't like me chewing fucking gum, if you don't like me saying fuck, if you don't like me having a pew pew, I don't need to fucking know about it. Just scroll the fuck on. I don't care what you think about me, or me owning a pew pew, or me chewing gum, or me saying fuck 500 times in a video. It's not your business, and I don't care. So just save yourself the however many minutes of energy that it takes you to type out that comment, Karen, and just scroll on by. And then, of course, we all know white men are the most fucking miserable assholes on the face of this earth. And I've talked about that a lot because they like to come on here and try to drag you when you're not the perfect little white woman, submissive, not trans wife. That would be something else. They wouldn't like that. Trad wife. And I mean, tell you you're fat and you're ugly and you're going to be alone forever with your cats and no one's ever going to date you and whatever. And as I've said a million times, I don't care. I don't care that you think I'm chubby. I don't care that you think I'm ugly. I don't care that you think no one will love me. They have, they will, they do. And that doesn't matter to me, even if it doesn't, because I don't give a shit about your opinion about me. But y'all all need to go get a fucking hug. Y'all need to
I'm trying to get rich using black folks' struggles. I was going to leave this one alone because this ain't what my page is about. I'm here to make folks laugh, share some real life stories, and hopefully brighten somebody's day a little bit. But I've never been good at turning the other cheek, especially when somebody's trying to paint me as something that I'm not. I know that black people face struggles I will never understand just because of the color of their skin. I see it, I don't deny it, and I respect it. But what you're not going to do is come on here and judge me like I'm the enemy just because I'm white. That's not fair either, and it sure as hell ain't who I am. Any black person that knows me or has ever had any type of real interaction with me will tell you the same. Majority of my closest friends growing up were black people. And yes, there were times where I got hate from other white people because of that. But do you think for a second that I let that affect my friendship with them? No. They were my people, and I loved them just the same, and I still do. My entire life, we were poor. We didn't have much of anything. I still, to this day, struggle. I became a mama at 16 years old. I'm now a single mama of 3 kids. I have been on food stamps more times than I hadn't. I drive a broke down car. I live in a raggedy trailer that somebody has literally driven their car through the living room and it's been patched up with tin. And you know what? I still get up every day and give everything that I've got to my kids, my patients, and the people that I love. So if you think I'm just some white girl out here clout chasing off of black pain, say that to the ones that know me. The ones that I've stood beside, that I've fought for, that I've prayed for, and that I would take a bullet for without thinking twice. I'm not perfect, but my intentions are pure. And if me coming on here telling real, funny, heartfelt stories about somebody that I loved who just so happened to be a black man makes you uncomfortable, then that says a lot more about you than it does me.
What would be so wrong about nobody having to struggle? Like, at the end of the day, money is a made up thing. Like, it really is just a piece of paper. It's the worth that we put into that piece of paper. Like, the government literally said, this is how you're going to trade and get things. And so this paper is valuable. And so then it made it so that the more of those dollars you have, you're seen as more than. But it's like, at the end of the day, why does anybody else have to struggle just because they don't have that piece of paper? Like, we have all these vacant buildings, literally just empty buildings. Nothing's going on in there. Why can't you guys renovate that and let people go in those buildings and get off the streets if you really want people off the streets and they're making your streets dirty or whatever the fuck? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why does someone have to struggle to eat? Why can't they just have the ability to eat food when there's all of this food that's available in the world? And food gets thrown out of the grocery stores if it doesn't get eaten by a certain time. So there is food for everyone to eat. Like, what is the point of having anyone struggle when everything that they would need is available and they would be able to have that if they had a piece of paper? A piece of paper that everyone gave value to. And since everyone gave value to this piece of paper, that's the reason why they have to struggle and not be able to eat and not have housing. When realistically, like, why do they have to earn their living and earn a house and earn food every day when they didn't ask to live this life at all? They didn't ask to be born, but they have to earn their right to live. Like, this shit is really insane.
So what y'all's plan? Is it ride it out and see what happens? Go homeless or move the country? Like, what? Like, genuinely, dude, what are y'all doing? Because I don't know.
Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car and I can't, because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription. Everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money. And yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me. And they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable. Regardless of your party, we have got to help each other.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you're watching me from now. The US economy is now collapsing. No one saw this coming. And many white Americans, especially those who once supported Trump or those who supported Trump, are now realizing that his policies haven't worked in their favor. And for this one reason, they are coming out to express their outrage and their anger on how the economy is working. Remember that most of them went to vote for all these policies that we are seeing right now. Most of them expressed their contention with the fact that Trump was going to make America great again. And they wanted to be part of the America that was going to be great. Now, things are turning out to be sour on their side. That Trump is no longer making things great again on their side. But rather, things are becoming so hard for them to achieve or to get from the grocery stores and many other things that they never saw is coming. Most of the farmers that voted for Donald Trump are going bankrupt, and they are now calling for the same people that they voted against to come and help them. Is this the awakening that the US needed, or is this the time that we must say, or should we consider that the white supremacy is falling apart and that the time for American collapse has come? I'm not saying it in a bad way, but remember one thing, that the US took part in slavery, and since then it has never taken action to actually compensate those who were affected or to pay for reparations. Now, things are not working in the favor of those who voted for Donald Trump because they are experiencing an economic strain. The cost of living, housing crisis, and shrinking middle class have hit working class white Americans hard. Many believed Trump will bring back jobs and save America, but instead, corporate interest and tax cuts for the wealthy widened inequality. You know, most of the people were told that America was going to be made great, and that Trump was coming to save them from the crisis they had. He was coming to create jobs for them by deporting others and giving those jobs to the jobless white Americans. Most of them willingly went and voted for these policies, but later on they realized those who were working, those who were deported, were those who were working for the low income jobs, those jobs that they consider not their class, you know, the jobs that included going to the farms, picking blueberries, picking tomatoes, doing so many other stuff that they feel like their superiority cannot allow them to do that. Now, those are the jobs that are available in the US right now. And the gap between the poor and the rich has widened. A lot of inequality. The rich people are now being privileged to live in the US because the government is prioritizing big businesses and giving less priority to the small businesses that are owned by most of the white Americans and American citizens. This tells us a lot that most people come to leadership as most people voted to see others collapse. Now, I want to bring one point to understanding that most of the rural America voted for Trump. They wanted to see their country great. They wanted to kick out some of the people they do not like. See whatever is happening at the moment. There is a rural collapse. The farmers in the rural sides of America are now begging for help. They are bankrupt and they cannot even do whatever they used to do before these elections. Now, small towns and white farming communities that backed Donald Trump are now facing bankruptcies and loss to local industries. Seeing the black community resilience in similar or worse condition makes some white Americans turn to them for guidance and unity. You know, that the black community is still thriving. And I've always said they are not thriving because they are rich. They do not thrive because they know how to manage the little amount they have during the crisis. They're thriving because of the resilience they have had. They're thriving because they have adapted to these kind of situations since they were born. You must remember, some of them were born when Jim Crow laws were taking place in the US. And during that time, the black community was very much disadvantaged. That they could not go to the same schools as their white counterparts. They could not go. They could not do same jobs as their white counterparts. They were disadvantaged. They could not go to the ballot and have the same rights as their white counterparts. But this hardened them with time, in that they can now survive in very harsh and hard economic times. Even those countries that are considered to be very, very racist, and those that have actually played a big role in dividing black and white over time. Blacks have always managed to live in every other situation in the US and across the world. This symbolizes, and this says a lot about some of the things that black unity, or the unity between black and white, should not only come when it is needed. It should come when it is the right time. Is this the right time? There was a time when the black community really needed this unity. No one was there to show up. There was a time when the white community did not listen to whatever the black counterparts were saying. But this time, most of them are now calling for unity. They are now calling for help from the black community. Do you really think this is being real? Is this genuine even? Are they doing this because they need this, or are they doing this to evade the problems they have at the moment? Now, we must also consider some of the things that are happening in the US at the moment. The black economic stability and adaptability has been so high in recent times, and the black community growing financial and cultural independence has become the more visible since 2020 during the COVID-19 times. And black entrepreneurs, creators, and professionals have built thriving ecosystems that don't rely on government rescue. And this is why I've been telling you that when white farmers went bankrupt, they always cried to the government and they got bailouts. That's not happening right now. Most of them have been denied bailouts. In fact, the government is not giving them bailouts, and this is not whatever they are used to. Rural MAGA farmers are now even complaining harder. They are crying to anyone who can come and help them pick blueberries and help them not to collapse in further, because they are in a very bad time, considering that the US government is on a shutdown, that only essential services are now being given to prioritized departments. This is leaving some of them paralyzed economically. Now, while parts of white America crumble under economic stress, black Americans are now showing strategic unity, self-reliance, and innovation, something many disillusioned white citizens now admire. Now, most of them are now seeing the black community silent and just minding their own business. They are actually admiring that, because most of them are now divided. Most are divided in regards to the party they belong to. They have played their loyalty to these parties, to these political parties, and in this case, they have been left divided. And this is why the government is taking full, it is now taking advantage of the situation. They are divided, and the government is now taking advantage of that. Let's not forget the fact that some of the white people have been resilient over time. They have not actually benefited from whatever happened or has happened over the years. A small number of them. And I feel like if black and brown and white unity is needed, then the right thing should be done. Not just because you need it at the moment, but over time, you should be in a position to do the right things, not to place yourself, not to place the black community or the brown community, but for the advantage of you both for the black, white, and the brown community. Thank you so much for having taken a time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. If it's your first time on this channel, consider subscribing, sharing, and commenting on this video. Thank you so much.